What the fuck up, world? John Horse here again. Today we're gonna do part 3 talking about Michael Jackson childhood shit. I'm gonna start with this shit. Go back at it, man. I mean, if you've been following the last Michael Jackson videos I did, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But just to go back a little bit more, we're gonna go not to his mother, but we're gonna go to her grandmother, Julia B. Screws. Yeah, I mean, this where shit get funny at, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he had a hard knock ass daddy, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Screws or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Probably a Jayhawk or a Buffalo, you know what I'm saying, soldier, because eventually they ended up getting ran up out of their shit, you know what I'm saying, out of Clayton and all that other shit that they had done, running everybody out and shit. So, with that being said, I mean, y'all go do y'all histories on the Jayhawkers and all that other stuff. Hey, babe. But yeah, the Buffalo Soldiers and all that other stuff. But yeah, he was one of those, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all watch Dan Calloway, but he talk about the farmers and all that other stuff. But what these people gotta understand, there's two sets of black folks, you know what I'm saying? You got those Asian ass niggas, you know what I'm saying, who was Spanish descent, we call them Moors or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that infiltrated us. They had done been visit us since DeSoto, you know what I'm saying, and we done had agreements and shit with them. What they done did, they failed to tell the people who they sold land to over there in Britain about the New World. You know what I'm saying? So when these people, they knew about it, but so when they came to come find it, shit, couldn't nobody, you feel me? So that's how you get people 1700s just getting killed off the board, you know what I'm saying? So-called slaves, and you gotta look at it when they say African slave, because them people were, the Europeans were still kind of like under Spanish rule. You have to understand, Spanish people had slaves, and then the Christians was having slaves because, you know, they had prisoners of war and all that other shit. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, 1700s, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, all these people warring against indigenous aborigine people, you know what I'm saying, Indians, Native Americans, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, be frank about it. But yeah, to speed it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, just run a little breakthrough, you know what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm talking about, then you'll do your research. But yeah, her granddaddy was I have to believe a Jayhawker, because that town eventually ended up getting taken over by some European white dude or whatever. Because what y'all gotta understand is the Civil War was fought against each other. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the same shit that's going on in the rap game today. That's crazy as fuck, but that's a whole nother video. But nah, man, as far as that, you had these people that was getting pushed out of town, you know what I'm saying? As far as, we could talk about the Trail of Tears type shit. This what this was about, you know what I'm saying? So we had done the people who crossed us, the yellow Indians anyway, they had done crossed us, started making agreements with the white man for whatever the fuck reason, you know what I'm saying? I guess they were scared because, you know what I'm saying, the black Indians wasn't having that, you know what I'm saying, even though they were getting chased out of where they was getting chased out of. This is how you got pockets of people who can claim this lineage, because everybody couldn't go, everybody couldn't be on the war, so some people had to sacrifice and stay behind and shit like that. So with that, they interbred with, you know what I'm saying, Moors and all that stuff of that kind and all that other stuff. Everything was cool, you know what I'm saying, until the Moors started getting their head knocked off and all kind of crazy shit started happening. The same shit they were doing to us, you know what I'm saying, that shit started happening to them. This how you get the Prince Hall Masons and all that other shit, because they went to go vouch for, you know what I'm saying, hey man, we ain't the same as these goddamn people, man. We different. That's how you get your free mans and all that other shit. And fuck anybody who trying to say I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just go do your own research. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, if you don't, shit, leave a comment. I'll be glad to go back and forth. But other than that, we get to the Scrooge family. You know what I'm saying? One of the most popular and renowned families at that time, with the Census Bureau just starting and stuff. And they were mostly populated out of Georgia. You know what I mean? And these was so-called farmers, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But these were your so-called free men, you know what I'm saying? But as they were getting chased out of town by these certain laws and stuff, because I think not Julia, but I think Mr. Scrooge, I think his mother, Martha, something like that. It go back to a slave, but either way it go, if you was considered a half slave and a half free man, you know what I'm saying, you was considered a slave. So, you know what I'm saying, he spent a lot of his time running. Nero Jackson, y'all go look him up, Nero Jackson. But yeah, that's Michael Jackson grandfather and stuff. But yeah, but we on Mr. Scrooge though. But these people, they moved and they wiped out whatever, and they call themselves selling in I think it's Arkansas. I believe it was Clayton or some shit like that. Maybe Mississippi or some shit like that. But either way it go, he got with his wife, Julia B. Scrooge. She was kind of like a little uppity Negro, which y'all will call it. You know what I'm saying? One of those Eastern Star type people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was old Eastern Star ass type motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And what this way it get graphic at, so you know what I'm saying, don't fuck with me if you, but like I said, amongst black people, y'all know about incest in the family and just, you know what I'm saying, unruly shit, you know what I'm saying? This shit was real, you know what I'm saying, as far as Mrs. Scrooge, because I have a belief that she, you know what I'm saying, was abusing her son or sexually molesting her son as he got older. We talking about 12, 13 years old. Because when you was old enough to have sex, that's when you was considered grown. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at it like nowadays, y'all be like the age of 18 and all this other stuff. But y'all gotta understand how they grew up. I mean, to give you proof about this shit. Hell, my grandmother was a fucking stripper at 13. But like I said, it was all about it was what was looking good or whatever, however that shit was going. But back to Mrs. Scrooge. You know what I'm saying? Julia B. Jordan or whatever her name is. She had done married Mr. Scrooge. I guess they got a divorce, but she never married. She changed her name up. This is how I figure she's a old Eastern Star type person, because she knew how to travel. And this is where a lot of people get confused on slavery. You know what I'm saying? And think people was captured and all that other shit. A lot of people wasn't captured. A lot of people traveled to these lands. You know what I'm saying? As it is today, that's how it was yesterday. I mean, as far as black people over there in Europe and all that other shit, and you know what I'm saying? But you had to have money to travel. You understand? You don't know nothing about, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know nothing about traveling, you was one of the stuck ones. But this is one of those secret order type things that you have no idea about. But yeah, a lot of people came over here by choice, not force. And a lot of those people y'all look up to, Buffalo Soldiers and all that other stuff, them people was agents, you know what I'm saying? Sent here to infiltrate the indigenous Aboriginal people, aka the Native Americans. They were sent here to infiltrate us. And the crazy thing about this shit is, the crazy shit about this shit is we sit up here and we call these people kins and say this person was half African and all this stuff, but we don't want to look at the big picture. I mean, there's enough evidence there. I mean, you go to the Civil Wars and all that other stuff, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm basically saying is, you know what I'm saying, you had these people who come in and say they from Africa and all. You do have a group of people that's from Africa, but you have a large amount of group of people that's from here. And but to get back on the topic, Mrs. Scrooge, you know what I'm saying, she changed her name from SWREWS or something like that to SCROUSE, so she could travel, you know what I'm saying? So she wasn't looking to marry no other. She had 3 other kids, you know what I'm saying, Hattie and Katie. and that's crazy because you could tell a child victim sometimes a mile away. You know what I'm saying? Because Albert, he grew up in Scrouse, Scrouse. You know what I'm saying? His mama never changed his name, you know what I'm saying? But he still had the Scrouse name. And back in England, this is what they would do, you know what I'm saying? Because the English language wasn't well established. So they had different meanings of surnames for the same name, you know what I'm saying? This is how you get K to B. Bruce means Scrouse too. So, but Scrouse, like I said, I believe, you know what I'm saying, she was sexually abusing her son at the age of 12, 13 years old. And he had a close sister named Katie or whatever. But long story short, red yellow fellow, you know what I'm saying, I believe he eventually joined the secret order or whatever, because he was able to travel from his hometown to the next town over or something like that, and eventually end up in Gary, Indiana. But having means to travel with the without the wife, you know what I'm saying, who was Martha Stewart or something like that. And I done told y'all she was a hoe or something. They got her in the movie like she was a well mother. But if you go back to the movie, the dude who was checking her back, you know what I'm saying, like she was all under distress and stuff, that looked more like Albert B. Scrouse to me. So I mean Albert Scrouse to me, but Prince Albert Scrouse. But that looked like him to me. And you know what I'm saying? And he would be the one who would be raising those two daughters. That lady wouldn't even be in the picture. You know what I'm saying? When this lady got money, she went and found her mother. You know what I'm saying? And like I told everybody, the polio story and all that shit, that is fakery like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But this is the institute that she built her legacy, or whatever you want to call it, her family name on, or whatever call it. You could say she did it for the family, but she sold that shit herself. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, she's old Eastern Star person. You know what I'm saying? This at birthday, with her name being Catherine Esther. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't everybody called her Catherine Esther Scrouse. No, her name didn't become Nay Scrouse until, you know what I'm saying, I guess she started fucking her daddy around about 12 or 13 years old. But I guess the people in the neighborhood considered her, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. What y'all gotta realize and take is, shit like this was going on back then. You know what I'm saying? Daddies was fucking their daughters and shit like that though. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard for y'all to realize because y'all so morally compassed and shit. But y'all gotta understand, monsters do hide up under the bed. So, but with that being said, he eventually moved him and the two girls up there to Gary, what they don't talk about in the movie. And he was working at the steel mill. This is how Joe got on. And Joe's mother was working with Catherine at the fucking goddamn department store. You know what I'm saying? I believe that Joe's mother wanted to get with Mr. Scrouse, but Mr. Scrouse, he was either deep into the order, or he was gay, or he was just, you know what I'm saying, was in love with his daughters. It was either one. I mean, whatever scenario, however you want to paint it. But he wasn't fucking with the girls, but he was the big man on campus. So, I mean, as far as Gary, Indiana, and what y'all got to understand is Gary, Indiana was like Atlanta back in the day. So it was, you know what I'm saying, had that nightlife, it had that, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I'm saying, Catherine, more evidence that she was an Eastern Star. She had a well-put job, you know what I'm saying. She was right there at Sears or working or whatever. She was a retailer. And it's very hard to get that job in the segregated time, you know what I'm saying, unless you got some connections, which her father had, and what she naturally had when her daddy changed her name when she was 4. A lot of people believe that he changed her name when she was 4, nothing like that. No. She was born Catherine Esther, and her name became Nay Scrouse, and then she became Catherine Jackson. And then she changed her maiden name back to Scrouse, which was the original family's name, Screws. You know what I'm saying? So it's something new. But to stay on track though, you know what I'm saying, Joe mama couldn't get with her, but they knew how to talk much, because what y'all gotta understand, with the secret order, it's a one world thing. Everybody is equal. So you as a outsider don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? They see each other equal, but she couldn't get with him, but she knew that he had something going. So she made Joe follow up on Catherine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go back to that movie. Why in the hell is he so attracted to this peg leg ass motherfucker? So that gives you a question right there, because what y'all got to understand, and I get to that farther down in the road as far as that movie, who was produced by and who got to really tell the story and who produced it and all that shit. She basically had control over what was being said and what was done. You know what I'm saying? And it's all kind of ritual shit off in that motherfucker. But what I'm basically saying is, the bitch is a motherfucking high priest ass witch and been a high priest witch for a long time. She sacrificed her kids, because what y'all gotta understand is Joe was a Luciferian, and I think Catherine had to be a Baptist or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a young girl with country singer dreams and shit. She done got with Joe the fuck up, because Joe was a fuck up. He moved from his daddy from Oakland because he couldn't do it as a boxer and shit. In the movie, like, you know what I'm saying, he was that dude, but yeah, he wasn't that dude. And the girl who y'all see Catherine with Angela Bassett, that's her sister Hattie, which they don't cover a lot of. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a made up story, and a lot of them don't talk. If you go and look at her story, a lot of her story is private. So back to them two, you know what I'm saying? But I believe, you know what I'm saying, by his wife leaving him, you know what I'm saying, on the slide, this nigga he was fucking his daughter for years. I'd probably say since she was 12. This is how I believe she got the fucked up hip, and it wasn't from no polio. You know what I'm saying? I believe she got the fucked up hip from that. But Joe, he gets with her, I guess, in the ambition to further his career or whatever, but he don't switch his religion. She switches to Catholic and Jewish, and if you know about the Talmud and all that other stuff, then you know exactly what we're finna go into. But he stays with Luciferian shit. They really don't give a fuck. They do whatever they want to. They see themselves as God. So, but with that being said, you had this lady and she done joined Jehovah's Witness or something like that, which reverts back to Jewish and reverts back to Catholicism and all that other shit. And if you go by the Catholic, you know what I'm saying, they have a different way of looking at shit, and it's totally different from how your so-called Christians look at it. But y'all check Young Vero, he do a good motherfucking explanation. You know what I'm saying? And why these motherfuckers be touching kids and all that kind of crazy shit. But I believe when she solicited Mike, you know what I'm saying, because she's quick to say she's the one who discovered Mike and all that other shit. She solicited Mike. She gave him to Joe and all this other stuff. And you know what I'm saying, at this time, you talking about nightclubs and all this other stuff. So you letting your son go in that, but you a Jehovah's Witness. That because she used to pray daily. She used to go study, what they call study daily. So she would go ask for forgiveness and all this other stuff, and she'd feel okay with it. Because in her eyes and her heart, she wanted to be that country singer movie star, which she eventually ended up being, but in a different way. But yeah, she gave Mike the Motown, and when Motown came, and you know what I'm saying, I mean, when Mike came to her and let her know what was going on, she let Mike quickly know, hey man, it's all right. We, you know what I'm saying, it ain't what you think it is, you know what I'm saying. And this is why I believe she solicited Diana Ross to be his handler, so Mike wouldn't be around all them grown ass, horny ass, goddamn gay ass, disco ass, snorting coke ass niggas. But he was around them anyway. But Diana Ross had most of his time. I think Mike, he fucked around and flipped. Oh, hold on. See, I'm going too far.